Yeah, I made it again, y'all. Had a few things I need to talk about this life that I have been given. Really, I've been blessed with. You know, at first I thought it was a curse. All the things that I had to go through, the struggles and the strive for life, man. What was I supposed to do? Tried to leave this place, tried to get on up out, tried to go to the next level. And back then, that's what I was about. Then, you know what I'm saying? They locked the girl up, had to teach me new ways. Okay, that's what's up.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you all for coming out to the first annual Homeless Success Day. I'd like to give you a brief history of how Homeless Success Day came about. A few years ago, when we was at the Healthcare for the Homeless Council conference, having a National Consumer Advisory Board meeting, we had a discussion because of the bad press that homeless individuals are getting in the media. And I would like to thank Damien, which is the owner, which his name is Marcus Powell.
Hey!
Because while I was trying to have it at City Hall, the expense cost too much. And Damien, well, his first name is Marcus, I call him Damien, he said that I would make sure that the restaurant would be ready for you on the day that it comes for you to have your event. And it made it possible for us to have the event here today. One of the things that we would like for us to come out of this event, and we will constantly keep having this event each year, is that we want to change the way people think about homelessness. We want people to understand that and then surround those individuals with the necessary services that become successful. Today you would hear a number of stories. We have individuals from the mental health realm, we have individuals that went through the GED program, we have individuals in the 1185 waiver program, which is a housing program that we were able to get that work with chronically homeless individuals that have dual diagnosis. We have individuals from the 1185 program that work with individuals coming from the penal system that have dual diagnosis. And by providing that housing and providing the necessary services, all of these different individuals have become successful. This is Mr. Marcus Powell. This who made it possible. I would like to present this certificate of appreciation to Hoots Smokehouse and to Mr. Marcus Powell for making it possible for us to have our first annual Homeless Success Day here in Houston. Great. Thank you, sir. One of the things that I would like to read aloud is that the person, well, I want to give kudos to an individual. I have a person that, and on a minute's notice, I would call her and she would come up with the flyer for Homeless Success Day, and in a 30-minute notice, she came up with the program for Homeless Success Day. Miss Deidre Young.
Yay!
And inside, she put down a paragraph that I like to read. She said, almost every successful person begins with two beliefs. The future can be better than the present, and I have the power to make it so.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful.
That's a very strong phrase there, because that's the things that individuals that get a chance, they use that phrase in order to become successful. So I would like to have Ms. Charlotte Garner to come up. She is the chairperson of our Consumer Advisory Board, here in Houston, Texas, at Healthcare for the Homeless Houston, and we call it the Change Committee.
Good evening. First of all, I'd like to give thanks to Mr. Joe, and I'd like to thank all of you for being present in support of this initiative. It's near and it's very dear to my heart. And as always, with inspiration from God, I have, in words, homeless success. To those of you who have not gone through this type of situation, the notion of homeless success may sound like an oxymoron. But I and my comrades here today stand as living examples to both show you and tell you that this battle definitely can be won. While most may be able to ignore those who still sleep on the street as they pass them traveling on their merry way, today we'll be presenting the flip side of the story, hoping to change the perspective and what you think and say. Each of us, in one way or another, became that woman or man on the corner. But by the grace of God and those whose hearts are turned toward helping the homeless, we stand united by pride, achievements, promotion, and honor. Success was not obtained overnight. It took perseverance and time. For just as in any walk of life, it requires work and determination. But without guidance, support, and patient dedication, it's hard to make it out. Without help that goes above and beyond, it's impossible to conquer humiliation. Life dealt a hand that at the time couldn't be played, that locked down mind, body, heart, spirit, and soul. But while trapped in a nightmarish existence outside of the realm of society's acceptance, from the cocoon of trauma, a caterpillar sprouted wings for all the world to behold. So take a look at us today and do tell exactly what you see. Can you readily discern the difference from what was and what is? Could it be you, or even you that's holding a transformational key? I admonish each and every one of you to listen with your ears and your hearts. Hopefully you'll stop judging books by their cover. Our stories could be repeated by the homeless in the future if we would all roll up our sleeves and help one another. Thank you.
While Tyra is coming up to let you know, Tyra is a CHW. She worked with Healthcare for the Homeless Houston at the Cathedral Clinic that's next to the Beacon.
And I'm very nervous. So what I did was I just jotted down a few things out of my life that I would like to share with you guys. 2011 beginning and started my fall. Living on the streets and in vacant apartments. From there I went to the crisis unit, residential unit known as CRU. I also stayed 30 days at Bernard Street. 2012 was a rediscovery at Discover for Women Harmony House. Rebuilding the broken woman, I call it. I stayed there for 18 months working on mind, body, and spirit. 2013, while living at Discover for Women, I went to school for licensed chemical dependency counselor and received my counseling intern license. I started my first job working as a counselor intern at Directions of Recovery. 2014, I moved into my own apartment and was hired by Mr. Preston Witt as a life skills specialist at Harmony House. Now I'm working for the organization that helped save my life. 2015, while working at Harmony House, someone mentioned to me about becoming a community health worker. And I received my certifications as a community health worker and was employed by Baylor College of Medicine working for Healthcare for the Homeless, Caroline Street. And now I'm at Cathedral location. I was introduced to the Change Committee I was introduced to the Change Committee by Joseph Benson. I told you I was nervous. Okay, so and have been a member since. It is such an honor to give back what was so freely given me. I thank my higher power first and foremost, and then to everyone who had a hand in helping me be the person that I am today. Thank you. Thank you.
We have a certificate of appreciation for Ms. Tyra Moore for participating in the first Homeless Success Day. Next on the program, we're going to have a young lady come up. Ms. Sharpe.
Hello. So I thought it was someone else that was going to be next. I have a loud mouth, so I don't have to put this microphone too close to it. So I had prepared, and you threw me off just for a hot second, what I had prepared to say. First of all, I am thankful to be standing here amongst you all. And I thank you for Mr. Benson, who is a living legend, and he don't even realize it, but he's a living legend. It's been 8 years now that I've been crack cocaine free. Although I am thick in the waist and the smell in here, back in the day. But I want everyone to know that if I can do it, and it's not by chance that I stood here, it's by somebody that reached out hand to me and said, I will accept you and take you as you are. That's why I love Mary J. Blige. You know, we all have songs that we love, and songs fill our hearts with things that sometimes we feel we're missing. But sometimes songs give us an insight to things we can't understand, but it's always something going on with somebody else that can be sung through a song. And I gave birth to my child, Mary. And I named her Mary after my mother and my great-grandmother. And while she was in my womb, while I was attending GED classes at Search Homeless Services, Mr. Benson used to read to her in these classes. He read to my child and fed her great food. That's how I went into labor. Let me back up, because I didn't want to tell nobody I was in labor, because I wanted to get one more meal, because I wanted some good food, because anything, except some ice chips. And he read to her. Until this day, my daughter knows who Mr. Benson is. You know, she don't ever have to see him. She every 6 months. She knows who Mr. Benson is, because she knows that's somebody who was reading to her in the womb, and somebody that cared and loved for her. Now, 8 years later, I went through GED's classes at Search. I went to HCC. That took me 3 years, because I didn't realize what a flash drive was until I didn't know what a flash drive was. And when people were coming to me saying, I have my resume on here, and I'm like, your resume? But then it took me 3 years to get through HCC, and guess where I am now? I'm in grad school with University of Texas in advanced standing for my social work degree. Oh, you high and mighty. You damn right. You're right. Because I have this walk and this talk to be proud of where I stand right now. So I might be a little and a little high-sedity, because I earned that right. But the thing I know is never to forget where I come from, and to continue to go into the community that I came from, and to give back. Because if we don't give back to our community, excuse my language, we ain't shit. You have to continue to stay in the community to give back to those who don't have, and never disproportionate yourself from those. Because guess what? When you don't give a care about where you came from and those you love, guess what? You desensitize yourself from what you can do for us. And it takes a community, it takes a village to raise our children, because it took a village to help raise mine. And it's still a village helping raise mine. So to you I say, I share.
Tell them where you work at.
Okay, so I interned at a place called Change Happens. And I don't know if you all familiar with Change Happens. It's in 3rd Ward, been there 27 years. I interned there during my undergrad at Texas Southern University. Let me give a shout out to the Tigers. Yes, during my undergrad as a social work student. But the last day that I interned, the executive director asked me, "Are you looking for employment?" And I told her yes. And they hired me. So, and I'm still there. And it's a lot of work, but it's worth it. But still, I will never take my time from giving back to the community. With all that I have going on with my family, with my career, I will continue to give.
We also have a certificate of appreciation from Ms. Sharpe.
All right.
I'm going to ask Charlotte to come up. Now, y'all have to understand, with Charlotte, I call her our Port Lariat. And whenever I think we need a poem, I always go to Charlotte, and sometimes it's in 5 minutes, sometimes they give her a day or more. But whenever I ask for a poem, she can come up with a poem in a very few minutes. Yes, Charlotte.
And the name of this poem is, Who is Homeless? Who is homeless? Let me propose a hypothesis of who could fit this pedigree. How about the 20-year worker who lost their job? How about you and me? Situations and circumstances and that old philosophy, que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. We often never ponder the story behind the plight, content to live our lives happily, not realizing that at any time, this could very well become our reality. I bet many of you say, I certainly have no susceptibility. My life is set, all is well. I survive on my ability. I know you do, because that's what I thought. Until this war, I became a casualty. Working in a plant, I got hurt on the job, which ended my functionality. I thought my earthly treasures I'd amassed would provide me with sustainability. They ran out in short order, providing to be false security. All the people I had helped along the way abandoned me immediately. All alone and on my own, I wept in misery. But I don't stand here now as a ploy for sympathy, not by power or by might, but by the promises of God in eternity. Although everyone has not made it out, they all possess that possibility to rise above their present circumstances and either return or obtain prosperity. Although we derive from all walks of life, no one is exempt completely, for the plight of homelessness could be anyone's destiny. So that is why we should all take advantage of afforded opportunity. Open your hearts and share freely and generously.
Next, I'm going to ask for Mr. Fredrick Jackson to come up. Mr. Fredrick Jackson is part of the 1185 program that we have here in Houston.
First, I want to thank my creator, Mr. Benson, the Houston Care Committee, Change Committee, and everybody, health care for the homeless, for granting me this opportunity to tell my story. In order for me to tell my story, how I came into success, I must show where I came from. Well, I'm 51 years old, and I have 27 years of captivity. So I've only been on the street 24 years. So I went through several bouts of drug addiction, and if it wasn't for the 1185 program reaching out to me, I wouldn't be here today. And let me start off by saying that I learned in my incarceration that I had to give back to people, because I don't want nobody to suffer. For I did 20 years in prison. If I can help anybody and be a beacon of hope for anybody, I'm here. That's my purpose in life. I feel that God, my Creator, has given me a purpose in life to share my story and my experiences with others. I grew up in the Fieldwater area. Criminal lifestyle was my role model. I was above, I possessed above average intelligence. I was to school, made it to 11th grade, dropped out for drug addiction. Tried to go through the armed services, but due to my drug and alcohol addiction, I was kicked out. I ended up homeless, sleeping on the side of the streets, doing drugs. All I want to do is do drugs, until 1185 program reached out and helped me. She said, well, we have a program downstairs where you have a case manager, and they're willing to help y'all, help you get, when you get out. But I had already signed for my time, so I told the lady that I was waiting for his train. Well, her name was Lynn Shepard. She said, just give me a call when you get out. So as soon as I got out, the first person I called was Ms. Shepard. And she sent a representative to me, and they put me in Star Hope mission, Star Hope for one night. Then they coming back down there and interviewed me and put me in a hotel. And ever since then, I've been housed in the PSV, because we have various departments. I've received permanent supportive housing. I'm grateful for that there. But I didn't stop there, because you have those people who get housing and they're still on the bondage itself. They still do drugs. They think that housing is. I use the tools and resources that the 1185 program offers. The group meetings. Everything that can help me, I used. And through the grace of my Creator, I've been drug free for 10 months now.
Hey!
And I prayed and asked Him to show me my purpose. And He said, just be a helpful to the community, just share your story and be helpful for those who you don't want to see go down the road that you went through. I went to prison 3 times, and I don't want nobody to suffer through that there, man. They treat you like animals down there. And so if I can be of help to anybody have children who need counseling, I'm here to share my story with them. I give thanks for having this opportunity to share my story, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Fredrick. We also have a certificate of appreciation for Fredrick coming up and sharing his story.
Right now, all these emotional stories, I was sitting back there in that corner saying, you know what, I don't think I can do this. I was sitting back there about to come to pieces, listen to your stories. My God, my God. And then it started me to thinking about my own life, and that was the reason why I'm here, is to tell you about my own life. Now, when Joseph Benson called me and asked me to do this, he said, you got 8 minutes. Yeah, right. You can put your Rolex on and look at it because I'm fixing to talk 8.5 minutes. Okay, now. It says homeless success. You know, as a young girl growing up, I never dreamed of being homeless. I used to sit and draw my house. My house had a little atrium in the top and a banana-shaped driveway. I had planned to be the family that was the picture on the fan that they gave you at church. You're the one with the husband and wife and the 2 little children. Right. That was my dream. Interior decorator, be a designer, be this, be that, be that. But unfortunately, my mother passed away when I was only 15 years old. At the age of 8, I was molested by one of my stepfather's friends. All my life, all I ever knew was molestation, molestation, molestation. I was molested by cousins, uncles, visitors, neighbors, you have it. Because see, to me, now I look back and I thought nobody ever really cared about me. At the age of 15, when my mother died, 3 weeks after my mother died, I was molested again. Then I went back home and I met a young man that he said he loved me. I fell for that. He ran the streets every night. I went out looking for him one night and a young man put a knife to my throat and raped me on the doorstep and the sidewalk of a church. I had to say, God, you really don't care about me. Unfortunately him, but they let him go. He went in the United States Army shortly after that. Nothing happened to him. I had to patch up the pieces and go to my great-grandmother and say, I have a child now, Mama, would you please take care of her? I got kicked out of school because I was pregnant. I was in the 10th grade. I said, Mama, I need some help. I can't do this. All right, so she said, go to the Job Corps. I went to the Job Corps and I graduated with my class in 1970 with a 4.0 from North Texas State University. Okay, you tell me what God can't do. So then I come back to my little small country town. There are no jobs here. What am I going to do? I was the first black to get a job for the county judge of Robeson County, Texas. I left there and said, hey, there's got to be something else out here for me to do. I left there and I bravely came to Houston, Texas again. Survived that marriage, being beaten repeatedly by my husband. I survived that and I left him. I came to Houston and I got a job here as assistant to the director of MD Anderson Hospital. Lost that job, went back home to take care of my great-grandmother. Married another man who took me out on the highway 10 miles out on the dark road. Beat me once again. I said, God, is this all you want for me? Boyfriends after boyfriends, beat me, cut me up, did what they could. I'm a blessing to be standing here right now because if I was anybody else and a weak woman, I'd be in my grave right now. I have a cut on my lip from a jealous lover. I have a cut on my leg from a jealous lover. I was never a prostitute. People think only prostitutes get treated like this. Even with them being who they are, they have their dignity and nobody should have to suffer through those things. But through it all, I still persevered. I came back to Houston. I got a job working for Benson and Elkins. That's the largest law firm in the nation, y'all. That's the largest law firm in the nation, y'all. Now come on, it said it wasn't supposed to be. I wasn't voted most likely to succeed in my high school. As a matter of fact, they didn't even give me the credit of being most beautiful. But guess what? God said she's mine and I'm going to elevate her. So I could pursue it and I pursued and I pursued. And in between losing jobs, not having a family to turn to, my mother was dead, my father never was no good. Okay, I didn't have a family to turn to, so where was I going to go? I was homeless. People look at me strange when I say thank God for shelters. A shelter? Exactly, because it kept me safe from the streets. So repeatedly I became homeless. I moved to California, decided I was going to go to school out there. I did go to school for interior design, but I didn't want to decorate for wealthy people. I wanted to decorate for those women who would transition out of shelters like myself so that I could give their apartments with whatever resources they had, whether we had to get it out the dumpster or whatever. I wanted to give those women the apartments that looked like Martha Stewart had been there. So that is one of the things that I do as a side occupation for myself. I come back to Houston again and again. I keep coming back to Houston. Once again, here I am. Lost my job. I'm an assistant to a senior vice president of an environmental consulting firm. I'm on my way up. I'm going to retire from this job. Y'all have heard the story. They merged. They merged. My senior vice president got a promotion. He was the director of international operations. Oh, we don't need her no more. You know, I go through life and I often think, like, y'all looking at me funny because I got this roll of toilet paper, right? Joseph said, hey, don't bring it. I mean, he didn't tell me not to bring it. He just told me not to drop it everywhere. But don't worry about that. Look here. You can take, I compare a life with a roll of toilet paper, okay? Life gets shitty at times, right? After you try to get it started, now just that little cheap paper that you go and buy at the dollar store, you're going to have a hell time trying to get that roll going. Okay, so then, look here. All right, Joseph. You do something. Look at that. God dang it. I I told him I wasn't gonna do that. So you catch hell trying to get that toilet paper rolling, right? You catch hell. Shit happened in your life like I lost that job, right? Shit kept happening no matter what.
That's right.
So I kept telling myself, you know what, I got to do something. Every time I would go to school or do anything to try to get my life back on track, no matter what, how patiently I rolled and rolled and rolled that toilet paper back on that roll, something wasn't right. Then I married another man. I ended up in a shelter for domestic women who were over there at WAR, Houston Area Women's Center, domestic violence shelter. Just repeatedly shelter after shelter. Then the worst time in my life was this last time when I lost my job 4 years ago. No family to turn to. Yeah, I have 5 grown daughters, but guess what? They would rather for a guy to stay with them than their mother. Still no family to turn to. Friends, people say they scared of homeless people. People take advantage of homeless people. I had a friend who said, hey girl, you can come and stay with me. Sure enough, I was paying her rent. And she was on house and turned her in, even though she threatened me, but that's okay. She's in jail now. I'm not. Hallelujah. But anyway, then you got sex trafficking. Let's talk about that right quick. Sex trafficking. Old boyfriend come along. What's going on with you? Oh, life is rough. I'm homeless. You can come and stay with me. I was his sex slave 3 times a day. Every day of the week. Dude, it ain't that much sex in the world, even if I was 21. What's going on with him? God said, I can't bless you if you don't leave here. I got bold again and I left and I ended up sleeping on the streets for a little bit. Ended up at Star Hope. Met a lady at the George Brown Convention Center. We all go over to the Star Hope. Stayed there for 3 months. I'm getting this shit back together again. You understand what I'm saying? Then here comes, I'm at the clinic with a toothache. Oh God, I don't want to be bothered. I'm taking classes at HEC and I go jump. What am I at? 7.5 minutes? Okay, good. I'll do it 1 more minute. Okay, then here I am at the Star Hope. Got a toothache. I got to go to the clinic. Here I go in the clinic. I'm laying up in there minding my own business, mad at the world, 1 minute away from committing suicide. And here come this man in this room talking about, Alma Thompson, the hell is you? I've been trying to get in touch with you. Man, you ain't never called me. I don't know you. Man didn't say a word. Like, I'm supposed to leave this lady alone because she got some issues. He turned, he left out his office, left. My phone rings. Hello. I thought it was some handsome guy ready to take me out of this misery. This is Joseph Benson. I said, oh shit, this man has been tracking me down. He tracked me down, he tracked me down. The reason why is because I was smart in my homelessness. Yes, I did sleep on the street. Yes, I was at the Star Hope. But before I got in the Star Hope, to be safe from the street, I was clever. I would go and hide out at Herman Memorial Hospital in the emergency room or Ben Taub's at night or whatever. But it kept me safe from the street. I would ride the bus from, I'd stay out there for a couple of nights. And I didn't want to, a couple of times I did check in. That's how he tracked me. I found that out. So I said, okay, well, I'm not going to run up a big old bill on the county. So if you were there, you were my bed, you were sitting there ready to see the doctor, you became my best friend because I had to be safe and I would see the security guard come around. I'd hide myself and I'd go in the bathroom. I was clever until the day came that I went back to search and Mary Cortez said to me, it's time. I had been in housing for so long. Even in California, I applied for housing. I'm in college, I'm a single parent. Everybody else got housing, why not me? They got Section 8, I'm gonna get Section 8 too. I go and apply for Section 8. My name sat on that list for 10 whole years. I went back in that office and they said, oh, you got to start over. I said, forget this. I'll do it myself. But there comes a time in life when we really can't do it ourselves. And we really need to start at the top and fix the family if we want to end some of this homelessness situations we have here. So, okay, from that, Joseph asked me if I wanted to become a member of the CAB community. And I said, man, I'll do something. I didn't really care. I just wanted to do something. So I get my apartment. Where's the program I just gave you? I got it wrong. I get my apartment. And Mary Cortez says to me, the mayor want to meet you. I peed all on myself. The mayor of Houston, Mayor Niece Parker, she wants to meet you. Her last state of the city address, when I got my apartment, they sent this reporter to my house, and they did this story on me. And I'm sitting there like a little bitty kid in the empty apartment, ready to shed tears as I told my story to them. I walked to the bedroom and I stood in the window with my back to the reporter because I didn't want them to see the tears streaming down my eyes. Well, guess what? This is the picture that Mayor Parker used. This one here, and it tells a lot because when you're looking at the back of us, you don't really know our stories. And I tell you the honest to God's truth, in the shelter there was a lady that had a PhD. That was me, that was other career people. You never know if you don't have that family unit to turn to where life is going to take you. So when we start judging folks, Just remember, there are a lot of women out there that is over the age of 50, and this is why I do what I do. It is shocking that there are so many women out there that have paved the way for their children, and yet they've gone off and forgotten about mama. And it's a lot of kids, not just mine, but I do thank God that he's brought my daughters back to me. So if there's anybody that you know that's going through this, tell them that I said, don't give up the faith, keep praying. He brought my girls back to me, and I'm enjoying them evidently. And they realize that what mama told me was the truth. It wasn't abuse, it was the truth. You will learn, and they learned it, and now they're back, and everything is good. And I'm just to sit down. I'm just to clean up this toilet paper off this floor. And I'm so glad to be a part of the Change Committee, because I will be leaving next week to go to Washington, D.C. to the National Convention. This is my second time around going there, because you see, people, I want to be a sponge. I'm not playing out here. I want to be a sponge, because when I ride through this city and I see the number of people laying out here under these bridges and stuff, I cry. When you may be in your bed at night in the comfort of your home, I'm out here. I put me at risk because I'm trying to save just one, because that's all God asked me to do. And if I save just that one, then I feel like all of everything that I sacrificed and went through is not in vain. Joseph Benson, white people stop up here, I got something to say. You my nigga. You my nigga if you don't get no big. I love you, boy. See, we can say that. Ain't nothing wrong. Oh, another thing, I got a whole wall full of certificates. I'm just so proud to be a part of this here organization. I don't know what to do. God bless y'all.
Thank you.
I wanted you to say something to me. Say it.
Thank you. Certificate of appreciation for you participating in this, and I see you in D.C.
Love y'all dearly.
Okay, next on the program, I want to have Charlotte to come back up. But instead of coming with a poem this time, before you do your poem, I want you to come share your story. And then after you share your story, you can do your poem. Your change.
Well, everybody, I can just stand here today, and first of all, I have to say, I don't look like what I've been through.
You better say that.
Because you see, God gave me the words to a book I'm going to write very shortly, and it's called From the Pits to Progress. But first of all, I went to the pits. My journey may not be as tragic as everyone else's. Yes, I have a molestation history. But mostly, I was a little starved little girl surrounded by people who loved me to death. And I just didn't understand what was wrong with me. Well, a couple of years later, in and out of experimenting with drugs, being a battered woman, I pulled myself up and said it's time for me to try to do something right, because all this other stuff, trying to turn out the lights that come on at night, was not working for me. Teenage alcoholic, none of that helped. So I went to HCC. And I cried every day when I got to school. And my counselor says, something is wrong with you. I want you to go on West Dallas. It costs you $5. And I want you to talk to somebody. I was 23 years old. And that was the first time that I saw a psychiatrist. I'm now 58 years old. And I still see psychiatrists, because I suffer from chronic major depression with psychotic features. I have anxiety and panic attacks, PTSD, and insomnia. Woo. But how do you do what you do? That's because I became a licensed minister, a certified Christian counselor. Because you see, I had an insatiable thirst for knowledge. And when you have an insatiable thirst for knowledge without its discernment, you'll try to just learn anything. So I tried to just learn anything. I didn't care what it was, good, bad, ugly, indifferent. I wanted to know why those people over there that were suffering didn't have, and I had. And then I became one of those people. Because y'all is real. Association will bring on the simulation. While I was trying to pull them out, they sucked me in. And so all of a sudden, it wasn't fun anymore. And I was still broken. And I still didn't know who I was. But I knew I had one gift. The ability to learn. So that's what I kept falling on and kept returning to over and over and over again. And as I continue to fight my disease today, I said, maybe I need to learn something about it. So, in the height of my drug addiction, when I became homeless, when my family said, that's it, that's all, you got to go. And I walked the streets in the rain without even a place to squat underneath a shed. Because Baytown don't have a whole bunch of shelters like Houston, you know? And the one that they did have belonged to my stepsister's brother, and he said, you ain't ready to be him because you ain't ready to get right. Blisters on my feet, I called my mom. I called my daughter. I said, can you buy me something that'll clean me up so I can go get cleaned up? Because they ain't going to take me like this. My daughter paid $50-something and went to a health food store to buy me something to clean myself up. I used until the last few minutes that would give me enough hours windows for that to work. She picked me up the next morning and she took me to NPC. If I tell you my oldest daughter dropped me off at NPC, the car did not stop. I had to jump out rolling and she kept going. I went in and I told them people, I don't know what to do. I can't take care of myself. I can't live. I can't think. I can't function. And I've been off my meds a whole bunch a long time. Can somebody please help me? I was screaming all over the building. You know what the people did? They locked me in a room right quick because they said she's in trouble and she's in crisis. They transported me in a van with bars on it. They wouldn't let me leave. And they put me in the CRU. All my teeth had rotted from drug addiction. And so CRU said, there's a place right across the way there called Healthcare for the Homeless in the Search Building. You go over there. And I went over there. And she's not here tonight. But I will forever be grateful for Miss Sydney A. Because she went above and beyond. Oh, y'all, I fell a bunch of times. I fell a whole bunch of times. On my journey, I relapsed. She picked me up. She the cause it because I got some teeth today. Because they kicked me out of the program from missing appointments. See, the people here, they don't even know this side. They never heard it before. Because I never told it before. I didn't know what I was going to say. But I prayed that God would give me the words to tell y'all who I really am. I'm a broken vessel. But the potter put me on his wheel. And he made me whole all over again. So I resorted to what I know that I do best. And I went back to school. Miss Sydney held my hand every step of the way. She put me in North Line SRO. They was trying to kick me out. She said, it's too much trouble. So then I was homeless again. I came back to Mississippi. Then she sent me to first responder, where I got permanent supportive housing for 8 years. They decided, while I'm there, mind you, I'm going to school, and they decided they no longer want to treat anybody who's not HIV positive. And they told me that I had 6 months to find me somewhere else to live. No program would take me because I didn't fit the definition of homeless. I wasn't homeless. What am I gonna do? Of course, I had a total nervous breakdown, and I couldn't function anymore. So I came back to healthcare for the homeless. Miss Sidney, Francis Isabel, Joseph Benson, Miss Susan. I stayed in the people's office and they just let me walk in there and cry and talk. Anytime I was in the building, I just kept coming back. And they just kept helping me. So I tell anybody, there are people that this is not a job, but a calling. And when I got straight a little bit in my head, Mr. Joe started to talk to me. He said, I see you looking a little better, baby. I see you doing a little. What you doing up here today? I got something that you could be doing. And I did need to do something. And he invited me to sit in on the change committee meeting. And he gave me a focus. He gave me a work. He gave me something to do. But in the meantime, I was going to school, y'all. And I finished HCC. And I got a degree in human service technology. That allows me to be a licensed chemical dependency counselor, a patient's advocate. That allows me to be an assistant caseworker. That qualifies me to be a community health worker. All rolled up into one. So, I wanted to go to work for healthcare for the homeless. And I applied, but I did not have the skills. And I didn't get hired. And I was a little disappointed. And I took a time out. But I went back to school. Because you see, all of the times when all of this stuff was going on with me, it was me fighting my disease. When I wasn't coming to meetings, Mr. Joe would call me. And I said, Mr. Joe, I'm fighting my disease. He asked me, is there anything he could do? I said, no. Because I couldn't do anything. But you know what I did? I saw a spiritual guidance. I changed psychiatrists. And they finally got the right medications for me. Now I'm off to the races. I graduated and I went back to school, y'all. And now I have something that I know will sustain me, that's therapeutic. It's what I do. It's who I am. Homelessness happened to me. Homelessness broke me. But homelessness showed me what I didn't want to be. So I thank God for homelessness today. Because had I not been homeless, I still would have been that spoiled little girl who thought the world owed her something. And somebody was always going to take care of me. So today I take care of myself. And I try to help take care of others. But every day is a challenge. And every day I take medication. So, now I need to know
about this thing that's fighting me for my sanity. So I go to school again, to the University of Houston. I bring my classmate with me today. Young lady I met, named Brittany. I love to see the young people on the right track early. I praise God for them. I reach out to them because you can learn. At any rate, I went to find out about this thing that has a hold on my soul. And I learned a whole lot. So today, I have a bachelor's of science in psychology. And the thing that tried to destroy me elevated me. I received a text message yesterday, an email yesterday, from a teacher who we butted heads all the time, invited me to the University of North Carolina to participate in a doctorate training program. But I always return to my roots because that's where I grew. Right there, now, on 1934 Carolina. I can stay grounded. I can stay rooted. I can get help. And I got a whole bunch of cheerleaders, y'all. All right. So I thank y'all for being here tonight because it was the people that talked that helped me. And it's the people that I see that do it, that keep me encouraged knowing that I can take another step. There's a room of people who are like me in here, and there's a room full of people who are the people I want to be like. So I thank all of y'all for being here. Well, y'all see this one here, it is in bad shape. I had to dig hard, strong, and long to find it. It doesn't start with a title, it ends with a title. Oh, I don't think I can see. Oh, here they go. Bifocal. There's but one constant transition. Everyone must change, evolving, advancing, progressing anew. Change is the only thing that we must do. For if we do not implement this principle and apply it to our lives, you'll wake up one day and see your destiny is gone. It's history. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. As long as there's life, there's hope. By the time is of the essence, please don't hesitate. Good things come to those who wait, but not to those who wait too late. Don't get caught up in the play of youth. Make good use of your early years. Do it now. Don't wait till later, so that your latter days will be greater. The idea of change can be overwhelming, and no one can do it alone. Trust the change committees. Our shoulders are broad and strong. You're not a heavy, my brother, my sister. We'll help you to carry on. Join us as we stand ready to help, to guide you through the process step by step. We'll roll up our sleeves. There's work to be done. Look at us. We're living testimonies that the battle can be won. Old or young, it doesn't matter. What's important is that you get a new start. We're here to help you. We stand the test so that you can become your very best. Change.
All the way. All right, that's some very inspiring folks that we done had come to speak of today. My name is Joseph Benson. And I was formerly homeless at one time. Mine came about that I was on my way home, and I was going down Holmes Road taking a shortcut to Missouri City, and a gentleman that had an 18-wheeler flatbed truck didn't put out no flags, no flyers, no nothing. I didn't see him, and I had a bad car accident. That car accident caused me to live in the Texas Medical Center for 2.5 years. But the thing that was most tragic about it was that it happened May the 10th, 1990. And the significance of May the 10th of 1990 is that May the 11th of 1990, it was mandatory automobile insurance in the state of Texas. And this guy didn't have no insurance. My accident happened an hour and a half, it happened at 10:30, May the 10th. Hour and a half before mandatory automobile insurance. But I had insurance, I had MetLife. But what I didn't realize was that if you didn't cause the accident, the insurance company have a certain amount of money that they would spend on you, and then they tell you go after the person that caused the accident. With him not having insurance, he didn't have no money. Texas being a right to work state, I couldn't take his truck from him. He had to be able to go to work. So I wound up going bankrupt. And in the process of going bankrupt, I saw that my wife at that particular time, she was having problems, and they started having problems between us. And I went, oh well, I think I'm gonna give her a way out. And I told her that, you know, if she had to leave, I'd rather for us to stay friends than become enemies, because we had been friends for a long time, because we're gonna always be connected by the hip because of the children. And I'm not gonna lie to you, in my heart, I thought she would go, oh baby, no, I'm not gonna come nowhere. And she went, are you sure?
Oh my
I'm
God.
out of here. And I was mad, I was pissed off to tell the truth, but I went and had a pity party. I took the funds that I had and I went and got me some crack cocaine, and I started smoking crack. And I wound up under the Pierce Elevated Bridge. So in that process, I found out how horrible male ego is. Because male ego says if you create a problem, you shouldn't have to ask nobody for no help. You should be able to solve that problem yourself. And because of male ego, I wound up being on the streets for 4.5 years in my wheelchair. So one day I was over at Herman Park, and at that particular time, Palmer Episcopal Church was feeding people in the morning. And I went over there to see where all these people was going every day. And when I went there, I had mud on me because it was one of those wet winters that we have here in Houston sometimes. And when I rolled into Palmer, this lady by the name of Kay Graham, she looked at me and went, come here, young man. She said, what are you doing here? You have no reason to be out here. And she introduced me to Jock Taylor, Don Hall, and Mary Cortez. They was the outreach workers at Search Homeless Services that time. And I told Jock him, I said, man, y'all need to find me a program because I don't think I'll be here tomorrow. And Jock said, well, what we can do is we'll meet you tomorrow. I said, no, y'all go and do whatever you have to do. I'm gonna sit in this chair, in this van, until y'all finish, then you'll need to find me a place to stay. And so Jock said, well, if you want it that bad, I'm gonna cancel what I have to do and I'm gonna take and put you in a program. And mind you, we rode all day long looking for a program, and all the programs is full. Jock said, man, my last resort is that I need to tell you, the only place I know is that only people they deal with is alcoholics. You need to go tell these people that you're seeing pink elephants and hearing things. He said, that's the only way you're gonna be able to get in there. And he took me out to West Houston Hospital, way out on Richmond. And I told them people I was having DDTs and acted for them folks, and they put me in their program. But the strange thing about it was that when I woke up the next day, the nurses that I had when I spent the 2 years in the hospital at TIA, they was the nurses at this hospital. And they went, Mr. Benson, what are you doing here? And I made that program work. And then, after I got out the program, Jock came and picked me up. And we went to go find me a 90-day program. Couldn't find a 90-day program. Now, so he's taking me back over to my mom's house. And in the process of riding a long time, we get to talk, and I asked him who his people is. And it turns out that his grandmother and my mom was best friends. And his dad, young middle brother, was my best friend. And then when I found out who his mom was, that turned out that was my kicking partner in school for 3 years. And we had a relationship. And it was something about it because when I would get ready to relapse, out of the clear blue, Jock would call me and go, "What are you fixing to do?" He said, "Man, you need to come down here and become a volunteer at Surge Homeless Services." And that's what I did. Now, during the process of being a volunteer at Surge, Healthcare for the Homeless decided that they were going to create a consumer advisory board. And Dr. Buck asked Jock, "Who do you think would be a good member?" And Jock chose me. So I started going to my meetings. And one of the rules at the meeting is that if you missed X amount of meetings, you couldn't be a member. And I was having family problems at that time. And I came back to Dr. Buck and I told him, I said, "Man, y'all gonna have to kick me off the program because I know I'd missed too many meetings." And Dr. Buck and Nancy Freeze and Steve Parnell, he's gone, he's been passed away, he was a good friend. He said, "No, Joe, we need you on this committee." And I'm proud to say that I'm the last of that original membership. There still is a member of Healthcare for the Homeless Consumer Advisory Board, which we call the Change Committee. And that poem that she read was about the Change Committee. So now during that process, I got a chance to go to conferences and do webinars and different things and learn how to be an advocate, a consumer advocate here on a local level. And then I started learning how to be an advocate on a national level. And the way that happened was that Healthcare for the Homeless decided to create a transportation program called Project Access, which is a bus that go by the shelters to the service providers and all the other places that individuals need in order to become successful. So Dr. Buck said, "Joe, you ever been to a convention?" I said, "No." He said, "Why don't you come go to the convention with me and help me explain Project Access?" I said, "Okay." So we get to New Orleans, and I'm thinking, now you have to understand, I'm thinking I'm going to help this guy. When we get to the day for Project Access workshop, Dr. Buck looked at me and said, "You know, you're the one who's gonna do this. I'm here to back you up." So I'm sitting there, and I know I had fear all over my face, and this lady, she stood about 6'3", African-American lady out of Boston. Her name is Ellen Daly. She came up to me and she said, "Baby, there ain't nothing but consumers in here. Only thing you have to do is just tell your story and we'll listen to you." And that's how I got started. I told her about Project Access, and then she came to me, she said, "I want to introduce you to somebody. I'm going to introduce you to Sarah Davidson." Now you have to understand, Sarah weighed about, she had to weigh about 250, 275. She rode a motorized wheelchair. She smoked 3 packs of cigarettes every day. And she was my mentor. So this particular day, she said, "I have something I have to do, but I'm going to sit you at a table. You listen to what these guys say." Now you have to understand, I had Daniel Reb from Denver, Colorado on my left. I have Paul Bowden out of San Francisco on my right, and they were talking about voter registration. And they just dropping papers in front of me. And they keep talking about voter registration. So that kind of lit a fire under me. So I couldn't wait until I got back to Houston to go talk to Frances and told Frances about voter registration. And Frances looked at me and she went, "Well, who's going to do this, Joe?" I guess it's me. She said, "Well, if you're going to do it, you can do voter registration." And I'm proud to say that Healthcare for the Homeless, we did voter registration every Monday for a number of years. And when I stopped counting, we had gotten 3,500 homeless individuals to register to vote in the city of Houston. So from there, our ex-CEO of the council, his name is John Lozier, one day gave me a call. He said, Joe, I heard you doing this voter registration down there in Houston, where you represent the council. And he had me call, and he done passed away now too, Michael Schutz, that was at the Coalition for the Homeless National. And they wanted me to participate to help people know about how to do voter registration. And I'm real thankful to Healthcare for the Homeless, because they not only taught me how to be a local advocate for homelessness, they made it possible and taught me how to be a national advocate for homelessness. And in that process, one day, came a time where they was creating a program for CHWs here in the city of Houston. And I was told about that, and I was told, now you know we can't guarantee you no job. You have to put your hat in there, and it's going to go on your merits, and you have to qualify. And I put my hat in there, and I became CHW for Houston along with, where my sister at? She gone? Sharon gone? Yeah. Sharon had to go to church and Bible study. But we became the first two CHWs in the city of Houston working with what they call frequent flyers, individuals that overuse the emergency room. And to see that if we can take and intervene with them and help them get the necessary service that they need, that they will stop being a frequent flyer in the emergency room. And through that, the 1115 waiver program got started, the 1185 waiver program got started, and I feel blessed to say I have been part of that. And to be able to not influence, but be able to talk people into becoming part of our Consumer Advisory Board, which in turn made it possible for them to become successful and become advocates here in the city of Houston. And I thank you all for that. Thank you, Francis.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Joe got me up here because he has a favorite poem that I knew. But I have a burning desire for something that I need to say to him. Pioneer, you bravely answered the call and persevered through it all. You gave freely of yourself, always willing to try and help. You grew and you learned as your passionate heart burned, not knowing how, what, or when. You stood fast and dug your heels in. You were first. You led the way. For all of us who are here today, your undying, unrelenting, infectious devotion cannot be ignored, for it's more than a notion. Along the way, you planted many seeds as you sought to fill everyone's needs. Unperturbed by an endless sea, you worked to set them all free. It may not have always been fun, but you've always had a productive run. You left your mark, as you well know, touching lives and watching them grow. We're here to celebrate today you, and thank you for all that you do. You, Mr. Joe, are so very dear. Thank you for having the courage to be a pioneer. Okay, you guys, Mr. Joe loves this poem. He always says it's Who Am I? But the name of the poem is What Color Am I? I was born in the image of my ancestors, who were despised and made to be slaves. But they were not comfortable in bondage and went proudly and boldly to their graves. The ideals they lived and died for to see a land where all are free. So many souls gone on to heaven, but still no victory. Still no justice in this land. Tell me, where does the fault lie? Could it be in the answer to the question, what color am I? Every race has an origin, a starting point from birth. I'm told that our continent was the richest land on earth. Now, if wealth is my race's birthright, why pray tell are we so poor? We gave up our gold and diamonds for the love of money, sinful of love. Mixed where we did not match, blinded by a greed-filled eye. And that's the very reason I don't know what color am I. To define a people with color is not so simple a task. For the face you meet and greet in public could really be a mask. The separation from background and culture has caused a great confusion, and many of my people exist in fabricated illusions. We must not be captivated by the trickster's eloquent lie. Seek the real and true meaning to the question, what color am I? Martin had a dream that a man would not be judged by the color of his skin, but that human worth would be equated by the content of the character within. To one and all, he preached a message of love, unity, and peace. All were created equal. No greatest, and certainly no least. From coast to coast was heard a loud and resounding cry, look at me, I am somebody. What color am I? Negro, black, African, American, identity after identity. So many different names to describe just one little on me. Everybody's running around in circles trying to find themselves, looking for love in all the wrong places, never seeking the Lord's help. But you better get your house in order before in death you lie. For the truth will be revealed in judgment, and you'll know what color am I. There's one who sits high. He looks low. He knows of our dreadful plight. He's able to keep you and carry you through and give joy in the morning light. Though I am oppressed, I am not stressed, because I know all is not lost. You see, Jesus paid the price for all sins when he was crucified on Calvary's cross. When he comes back for that church without a spot, we'll be caught up in the twinkling of an eye. Transfigured and changed, you'll hear him say, dear children, you're the same color as I. So you see, this controversy surrounding outward appearances makes no never mind. It's what's on the inside that will determine where you spend your eternal time. Now I ask each and every one of you, if a heavenly home is your goal, to close your eyes, look deeply into the pits of your very soul. Keep them closed, no peeking. I want you to see me with God's eye, made in his image and filled with his spirit. Dear Christians, that's what color am I?
Thank you, Joe. And congratulations to those of you who shared your story today. It's really amazing. When I came in, I would not have been able to tell that you had a story to tell. And I think that's a blessing that the Lord has carried you this far. I believe in Christ, and I believe that all things are possible. You may believe in another being, but all things are possible. So I'm very happy to see you at this point. And this young lady with the dreadlocks, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for all of you, but I'm really excited because of the work that you continue to do, and the young man asking God to bless you. It's something, because I've not experienced what you've gone through over and over again, and the work that you continue to do, and I think it's so wonderful to see you this way. I can't imagine you living under a bridge. I just don't see it in you, and I think you didn't see it in you either, because you're doing something else now. And I ask the Lord to bless you and keep you, that you may continue to be strong and that you help someone else. When I drive by, I wonder what caused that, and you never know. But just keep helping, because you've been through it, you can help. So maybe some others can't help. In that way, they can help in another way. So I'm thankful to see this today, and just happy that you're not on the street any longer. And again, we pray that you not go back. So Lord, we just thank you right now for the opportunity to share. Lord, you put it on their hearts to come out this day to celebrate the accomplishments of those who've been homeless. Lord, success in anything is wonderful, but coming off the street is most important. Lord, we thank you for the organizers of this event, the organizers of the Change Committee, that there's so much more work to be done, and you've given them the heart to do it. So Lord, I ask that you would bless them in their endeavors. And Lord, we ask you to bless those who support this event and support those. So Lord, we ask that all that work today, that you would bless them, Lord, and keep them strong. All who will continue to work, Lord, just give them the vision, the endurance to do. And Lord, we thank you for those who've opened their hearts, their business, to welcome everyone in. Lord, it's a blessing to all of us. Lord, now we bless you for this food that has been prepared for the nourishment of our bodies. Lord, bless the hands that prepared it. Let it give us strength. Strength, Lord, to carry on, because there's such a major work to do. So Lord, bless us as we break bread together, fellowship together, those who are homeless but are now off the street. So Lord, let us mingle with everyone here and just know that they are worthy, because they're your child. So Lord, bless the food, allow it to nourish us. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Help yourself.
Please, there's gumbo and beans and rice, and go enjoy.
Yeah. I made it again, y'all. Had a few things I need to talk about. Like this life that I have been given. Really, I've been blessed with. You know, at first I thought it was a curse. All the things that I had to go through. The struggles and the strive for life. Man, what was I supposed to do? Tried to leave this place. Tried to get on up out. Tried to go to the next level. And back then, that's what I was about. Then, you know what I'm saying? They locked the girl up. Had to teach me new ways. Okay, that's what's up. I learned the things that they taught me then. I apply it to my life every now and then. But now things are changing. Things are rearranging. My mind's getting clear, kind of settled a little bit, Looking at me, and in the mirror what I see, it's not who I used to be.